Signs that you'd qualify as a witch back in the day. Are you ready for number 1 sign?
Yeah.
You are female.
Yeah, of course.
Hold on, let me check and see.
You are poor. Well, number 3 is a little bit contradicting because it says you are rich.
Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that. Talk about scary places. Support this podcast with a small monthly donation to help. Oh my gosh.
Jesus. This cannot be this hard.
It is. It's really hard. Here we go. Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that. Talk about scary places. Please consider becoming a supporter of Talk About Scary and make monthly donations to help us sustain future episodes. No, we got through it. We can just start the episode now. That's
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
This is the part where we start talking, I guess. Adam, how are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice.
I'm good.
Way to muscle through that little ad spot you did in the beginning. That was rough. I'm happy that it all worked out for us, though.
Well, I try. You know, I do what I can. And I got better at it. It didn't take me as many attempts as previous
Just 2.
episodes. Just 2.
That's not bad.
And I'm glad that you just let everyone know. They would have never known if you didn't bring it up, you know? Like, they would never have known.
A little bit of honesty in broadcasting, you know?
Honesty
with
doesn't
telling
get
people
anyone
truth.
anything. They get nothing for being honest. They get nothing.
Well,
And that's the honest truth. So,
nice.
well, anyway, you know, I was hoping we were going to do this as a video episode, but as you know, we're doing it as a podcast audio episode, which is cool. So I thought instead of doing a video, maybe we could bring in a special guest and invite someone along on this journey.
Hold on. Wait.
I don't want to wait.
A special guest?
Yeah.
Who do you have?
Someone
in-
who's not quite there in the head.
Oh, nice.
Someone sitting right next to me, my sister, Ashley Moffatt from the first season. She's back to make fun of me and love you and Wales and yada yada. Welcome, Ashley.
Howdy, boys.
Hey, welcome back.
I'm a man.
Jeez Louise, I had no idea it would be you.
I know. I'm disappointed that this is not a video one. I
Well-
wore my whale shoes for Adam.
We'll do another one.
Can we attach a picture
gosh.
to this?
We can.
Yes.
What is that?
That's my dog. She's in the back. That's Bella. She's growling. I don't think
Hi,
she
Bella.
likes whales either, so.
Apparently not.
Well, Bella has a soul, so.
Man, I have nothing to say. I have absolutely nothing to say about whales and souls.
Dogs are charming animals with souls.
All the whales hate you so much.
Honestly,
okay.
no
What are
one's
you
going to
gonna
give
do?
money to this podcast if we keep hating on whales.
You're right. I picture like an animal lover with like a whale shirt on going, oh, let me check out a new podcast. Talk about scary. Oh, that sounds interesting. I'm not donating to this. I'm not donating to this. Well,
But think of all the dog lovers that'll donate to it now.
I just feel like the whale people are more of the donators in the world. They're really concerned about the whales.
they are like endangered, some of them and
Yeah.
stuff. And chihuahuas, they're like not.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere, man.
Fair enough.
So I was gonna lead in to, you know, I had my dog growl at that moment. I cued her in because she's our 4th special guest because her name is Bella, and I wanted to link that to the Bell Witch Cave. Bella, you get it?
Yeah, we get it. It's
Did you
not a
just
really
think
good
of
joke.
that?
I just thought of that. No, I had charts and everything, and I was like, how am I going to
He
introduce
does. You
the
guys should
topic?
see it in here.
Yeah, and I was just
There's
like,
sticky notes
like,
everywhere.
let me get up real quick. All right, and get the stuff Anyway, I'm done with the charts for now. I came to the conclusion that Bell Witch Cave, it all works out.
It does. It absolutely does. You had a bunch of flow charts up, didn't you?
Yep, I did. Most of them are on the ground now, so.
A couple pie charts.
Anyway, now that we've, prolonged this episode to massive length with this horrendous opening that I've fabricated out of my dog growling, we can move forward. The Bell Witch Cave.
Bell Witch Cave? Wow. Where is that exactly?
It's in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Adams, Tennessee, I believe. It has a lot of history, and one of the coolest things that we'll get to later is that there's actually a really famous movie that is somewhat based on the Bell Witch itself, the entity, whatever you want to call it. The Blair Witch Project. Maybe you've heard of it.
Based on the Bell Witch?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, son of a bitch, I had no idea.
You
How
meant
many
witch.
years has that been out?
Son of a
the Blair
witch.
Witch.
Son of a witch. You can bleep that out if you want to.
Why would
I don't want to
that?
give this podcast an N17 rating. But I didn't know. Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, they actually
How
took
could I
the
not know
actors
this?
and they threw them out in the woods. This is a true story. When they were filming it, the crew kind of just made things happen. For the actors, a lot of that movie was actually just them surviving in the woods.
No.
Yeah, true story. That's why when they promoted the film too, they tried to sell it off like it really did happen. Like they made obituaries and stuff for the cast to make it look like they had really gone missing and were presumed dead. But anyway, that's not what we're actually talking about. That's just the interesting connective tissue that I used my charts for.
Talk about showmanship, though. Okay.
That's the new name of the show. Talk about showmanship. Why don't we rename this show every single episode? Anyway, so the Bell Witch is a cave, kind of like a farm stand, located in Tennessee, and it was originally owned by John Bell. And in the late summer of 1817, something happened to him and his family that would change their lives forever.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dum
dun.
dum dum. What happened?
Something
The-
horrendous.
Strange animals. They began seeing strange animals, and they heard knocking and choking noises.
Probably like that. And the animals,
Nice.
they might have been I don't know, though. We don't know, because we're not there. It
Did
was
you just do that
1817.
voice?
Well, what animals
Why-
are strange?
Why am
on a
I not
farm?
there with you guys right now? Why am I sitting in my house?
I don't know, we can pretend. I'll put my arm out and be oh, it's Adam here. Adam.
I would Zoom with you guys so we could be together, but then the lag would take forever. And I would just throw the mic down and
WebEx
walk
is where
away.
it's at.
Well, we're coming to the end of this COVID pandemic, hopefully, for the most part. So, video is going to happen soon, and we'll get there. It'll be fun. We'll have a big celebratory cake episode where we just talk about cakes.
Ooh, Elise could be your guest.
She could
Talk about cakes?
talk about
Nice.
cakes with Elise, my wife.
So the Bell Witch Cave there's a cabin that's attached to it and all this good stuff too, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yes, yeah, the homestand, homeland, whatever you want to call it, the property.
Sweet
where
sassy.
John Bell. Yeah. So what ended up happening though, in addition to the animals' strange behavior and noises, was Katie Batts is her name. She was a neighbor to the Bell family, and she tormented members of the Bell family for almost 3 years, pretty much daily. Specifically, Betsy Bell, who was John's daughter, had it the roughest.
Ooh.
Yeah. So...
Like how?
abusive behavior. She was pinched, her hair was pulled. And
Stuck
then,
with pins and beaten.
Yeah, just all sorts of maybe I should do like sound effects, like that was like a pin, and then hair pulling, like.
Oh, you hit my face.
Maybe you should add it in post though, and not so Police Academy-y. Like not so much Police Academy 5, but maybe you want to add that in post. I'm just saying.
I'm just the sound guy. Like, I can do sounds. In Looney Tunes, if you're listening to this, because I know you probably might be, if you're still a show doing things, like I'm here.
So back to the Bell Witch haunting. Is it a haunting?
Yeah, I'd call it a haunting. This is a haunting. So all this torment happened, and I think what ended up happening with the Bell Witch and why it's such a famous place in Tennessee, and there's the movie made about it, and there's other films referencing, and there's been shows on like A&E that have done episodes on this land, is more of a manifestation that occurred from these tormented behaviors that Katie Bates unleashed upon the Bell family. And so the Bell Witch is not necessarily maybe an individual or a person or a spirit, but really more of like an entity that has kind of stayed after all of this has happened. Which we've kind of talked about stuff like that happening in the past before, so
Oh yeah, sure.
With energies and stuff like that. The cool thing is you can actually visit the cave today. So the cave is where I think someone was buried in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can chime in, Ashley. I know you.
Well, I just know so much about this.
I know.
This is actually really a cool place.
Cameras don't work in the cave, is what they say.
Yeah, it's one of those places where electronics seem to malfunction quite frequently within the cave. It's a 450-foot cave, and the legend that kind of comes out of this with the Bell family is that Betsy Bell and her friends were playing when they had an experience with the Bell Witch while they were kind of exploring it.
What was their experience?
It involved a lecture about the dangers of cave exploration.
I conveniently didn't read that part. Try to, because it was bad. Oh wow.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm like still a little confused. Is Katie Bates the Bell Witch?
Are you asking?
Yeah, like anyone that wants to answer. Like Katie Bates tormented this family while she was alive. Then did she die and like her spirit stayed there? Or is this a completely different like spirit ghost witch?
So it looks like Katie Bell, right? Or what's her last name?
Bates.
It's Betsy
Bates,
Bell
sorry.
is the daughter that was
Betsy
tormented, and Katie Bates was the. Oh my gosh, these names, they all sound the same. Katie Bates
really
was
do.
the one doing the torment.
The tormenting. So she's the witch.
Yeah, I think so. But
Okay.
I also think there's something to be said of, like, normally you guys just do episodes on, like, ghosts or haunting. Like, this, she was, like, tormenting them while alive. I want to know more about her history.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what I said before, when I think the witch is like a manifestation of what she did. You know, like, she tormented them so bad that it's almost like residual or turned into like an urban legend type thing, where there's like a witch that like haunts the woods around this area, or the cave, I guess. But you know, right here I'm on bellwitchcave.com. It doesn't get any more official than that. Like, if that's the thing that you are named and you have a .com, you got it.
Unless you're a .org or a .edu.
If you're an organization or an education, if you're not one of those things, you got a .com.
I have a Weebly.
Well, they're saying that Katie is the Bell Witch, right?
What?
Yeah.
They're saying
Katie Batts is the Bell Witch. But right here, what was the Bell Witch? Like most supernatural stories, certain details vary from version to version. For most accounts, the Bell Witch claimed to be the spirit of Katie Batts, a mean old neighbor of John Bell. And for a lot of different reasons, including thinking that she was cheated out of the property that he purchased. That's why she decided to, that's one of the reasons anyway, why she decided to torment the Bell family. But it doesn't really say much about like her performing like magic. Like, this ain't no witch that went to Hogwarts.
No, and like, are there just no rules in 1817?
No, there's no rules.
Like, who just walks over, like...
Well, I mean, still today,
and torments.
people go into their neighbor's house and hurt them if they
want to. Go to jail.
I mean, yeah, they don't get away with it necessarily, but, you know, that's kind of...
No rules, just right. No rules.
Is that a motto? Is that like a motto of, like, Carl's
Yeah, it was
Jr.?
a motto for one of my favorite restaurants.
Did you say no rules, just rice?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No rice?
No rice.
Oh.
But, yeah. It seems like they had some good old-fashioned fun back in the 1800s. Clay and I have done a lot of specials on the 1800s, and I got to tell you that they have the abuse down to a T. It's perfect.
Yeah, we have done a lot of, like, abusive episodes, which is kind of sad. I feel bad. We need to do another happy episode.
So, I looked up Katie Batts, and it says that growing up, it says she was an outcast in her community and had little money and had to do like really hard labor growing up on her family's farm. And then once she got married, her husband became paralyzed in an accident. So maybe that's kind of some reason, I guess, for torturing your neighbor.
Like a lot of the story and history behind the place points more towards she was just an abusive neighbor. But then kind of what the legend talks about is more that, yeah, she was doing things that are impossible, making John Bell sick, appearing in 2 places at once. It even says that she would blast him with curses and hideous threats. I mean, I guess that could be like curse words. But it says, and hideous threats during these spells.
But
So,
I mean, once you're labeled a witch back then,
you're
like
killed, though.
anything that comes out of your mouth is a spell.
Yeah,
Is
that's
this the time in which like they would kill witches?
true. I don't know, when was like the Salem witch trials?
I don't know.
That was later, wasn't it?
What years was this now again?
This was 1817 for about 3 or 4 years.
No, Salem witch trials were way before
No,
that.
Salem witch was like 1690s.
Yeah, that's what I said. You guys didn't hear me properly.
You
thought
you
I
didn't
said
say 16.
You thought I said that, but I didn't. I knew exactly when the Salem witch trials were. And to all of our witch listeners that might consider donating, I do know when the Salem witch trials were. So you can, this is like credible stuff.
I've been to Salem a few times. It's not that great.
Well, they got witches and stuff.
It's more like an old-timey, like, let's show you how to make a soap. It seemed like everybody made soap back then out of just like
soap?
Soap, yeah. They made it out of like lard. They just washed themselves with lard. It's disgusting.
So fat. Like
Yeah, they
cooking
made
fat,
candles
basically.
out of
Animal
soap too.
fat.
It's like all made out of the same stuff.
Fat.
Okay.
P-H-A-T.
So
Signs,
here, welcome to the 1800s. Wash yourself with some grease.
signs that you'd
Must have smelled
qualify.
horrible.
Adam, stop with the lard. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back, guys. Signs that you'd qualify as a witch back in the day. Are you ready for number 1 sign?
Yeah.
You are female.
Yeah, of course.
Hold on, let me check and see.
You are poor. Well, number 3 is a little bit contradicting because it says you are rich.
So anyone could be a witch.
You had an argument in a public place. You're a witch.
Well, and it
Okay.
says Katie was becoming well known and drew crowds of people for her curses and hideous threats. So I don't know, guys.
So Katie was being a Karen, probably.
A modern day Karen.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of witches.
No offense to all the people out there named Karen that would like to donate to this podcast. We love you. And and that term does not reflect our views on your name or your person.
Hi, Karens.
Hey, Karens.
The manager's in the back. Do you want me to go get him?
You are the manager, Clay.
Bella! I'm just kidding. It's actually a her. How dare you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. No, I'm talking to myself. This is just me now.
So you have to be a woman, and you have to be outspoken in a public place.
Yeah, if you like argue, if you're a woman, if you're poor. So really kind of everything Katie sounds like she was.
Well, it also says this. The entity who is called the Bell Witch is described as having many supernatural powers, including invisibility. Like, what's that? You just can't see the thing? Okay.
Most ghosts do have that.
Ghosts are invisible, I guess, usually. Clairvoyance.
Isn't that the same thing?
That's pretty sick.
I don't even know what that means.
You
Do you?
You don't know what clairvoyance means?
What does it mean, Clay?
You know what it means. You're being dumb. And telekinesis.
Ooh. I always wanted that power.
It's no wonder the Bells felt haunted. The Bell property is hauntingly beautiful as well.
It is very pretty. Looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Lovely little place to stay. I would like to stay the night sometime.
I'm going to Tennessee in 2 weeks. Maybe I'll
It's true.
hit it up.
It does say right on their website, though.
They're
for
closed.
Our listeners right now that they are closed.
But I could probably drive by.
Temporarily closed, though.
But I think you can stay at the cabin.
Oh, what does this say? Appointment needed.
No appointment needed. Just you can visit the cabin that's on the property. So
Nice.
that's good. And for anyone listening that doesn't have a computer or doesn't know how to spell bellwitchcave.com, because they're official, here's the phone number. I'll just give it to you right now. It is 615-696-3055. Sorry, I stopped because the 9 looks like a G, and I had to think about whether or not I was using numbers properly.
They also offer tubing. So if you're into that,
there's some lovely pictures
of
tubes.
You know, I have to say, too, that usually I say this at the end of the episode and tell people where they can go find this place. I'm really resenting the fact that you guys jumped the gun on that before we were finished.
Yeah, like, what are you going to say now?
That's all I say. That's my contribution to the entire podcast.
Oh.
I have one joke, and that's the one joke I have.
Well, wait, how is telling them
funny.
the address a joke?
Because then I say, here's the address, and I say, and it costs this much for the tour. Talk about Scary sent you, and you'll get to talk about scary discount.
See, I was trying to avoid that this episode, and you found a way to sneak it into the podcast.
And I like telling everybody where it's located. That's my favorite part. So I'm just going to do it now, because you guys have already ruined it.
Tennessee.
Yeah, in Adams, Tennessee. For all of you guys out there, the Bell Witch Cave is located at 430 Keysburg Road, Adams, Tennessee. And they have some online hours here and tours. Tell them about Talk About Scary and get the Talk About Scary discount. I did it. Now you can't take it away.
It's 42 minutes from Nashville. I will not be making the trip.
Nash Vegas.
It's also 7 minutes from Guthrie.
Guthrie.
Oh, sorry.
I really don't know what clairvoyance is.
Google it. We don't have time to talk about this on the podcast. You need to get it together, Ashley, if you're going to be a guest on this podcast. For all those listening at home that are confused about why we're arguing, I did say this was a special guest.
I would like to know what you think it means. Either of you. What does clairvoyance mean, Adam? Go. Don't look it up right now.
If you're a clairvoyant, you can speak to the dead.
Yeah, it's like a medium.
It's a small, medium, at large.
Take some salt on that fry.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I don't understand the definition.
Just read the definition to the viewers.
The supposed faculty of perceiving things or events in the future beyond normal sensory contact.
Okay, sure.
The
But
claimed ability to gain information about an object, person, location, or physical event through extrasensory perception. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a medium, someone that can
I wanna
talk
see
to
a
or
medium.
see things that haven't happened yet or already.
I
happened.
think
that's
I'm
like
clairvoyant.
clairvoyant's going to speak to the dead. Are you?
And
Sometimes I think so.
and to those that are clairvoyant out there, I'm sure you're not listening to this episode because you probably,
They
saw
already
it in
did.
your head and were like, yeah, this is trash.
It also looks like you can rent canoes if you're not down for tubing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a really enchanting place.
I
to be
think
quite
it has
honest with you.
something for everyone.
Has anything recent happened besides that legend?
No, nothing's really happened. What?
No.
No, I think honestly, it's one of those cases of it's more fun than factual, or haunted. Like, I'm sure these people are real, and the bells were probably abused by this woman, but I don't know that there was any witchcraft or anything going on or anything still happening. I think it's kind of like just an urban legend that I'm sure people that grew up around the area, deal with it, just like chupacabras and Bigfoot's feet, and
Well, those are all real though.
Jack the Ripper.
Chupacabras and
just kidding.
Jack the Ripper.
Well, all those things could potentially be real, but they're more fun. Like, no one's really been able to prove it yet. Like, no one's been able to like catch a Bigfoot yet.
But they said something about an apparition or something like that, didn't they? Didn't they say something like that? Come on, give us some meat here.
Who's the they?
The website that you're probably on. I'll have to look and see.
Onlyinyourstate.com.
I've moved around a little bit.
Oh.
I could see this being like a big October Halloween hit, if you're local. Checking out the Bell Witch Fest, stuff like that. It's almost like the Goldfield Ghost Town that we have, or the Lost Dutchman's Treasure going on here in Arizona. Some of it could be real. There's probably facts behind it, but it's more just fun, and locals know about it, and it just got famous. Honestly, I bet that movie, The Blair Witch Project, helped quite a bit too. So.
Except I wonder how many people know that that's based on this.
People that watched it or looked into it?
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen it.
I'm so scared.
It's too bad because the cabin looks real scary.
You've never seen it, so you're looking at me.
Go to the cabin.
Right now?
Yeah. The Bell Cabin.
Thank you.
You're just staring and click on it.
Did I get it? Yeah. Tours. Oh.
The hand hewed? I don't know any of these words.
There's a replica of John Bell's home.
Okay, so is this just like you just visit this cabin, or is this where you stay? Like, can you sleep there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought this was a hotel.
Cabin tours. No, there's just a tour of it. They accept a Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah, you put like an accent, a weird spot, like tour. It's very odd.
Tour.
You got to make fun of the fact that I learned a 6th language before this episode, and
Tour.
What accent are you
encourages-
trying to do?
Where are you from?
I am the Bell Witch. Oh my. Well, I think that's
like saying
probably
Cool Whip.
about all of the episode time.
Someone needs to cut this off.
This was
Someone
a
else.
fun one though. The
Someone
else.
else.
Episode is called "Talk About Fun," so it was a
Talk
fun
about
episode.
Fun.
Right.
And
It's
Okay.
a palate cleanser. We talk about a lot of heavy stuff. This is
Like-
a nice palate cleanser in the middle. I
Cool-
like this. This
Cool
is
Whip.
nice.
Cool Whip.
Cool whip. Whip. What are you talking about?
Anyway, so thank you, Ashley, for joining us on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you had a lot of fun discussing the abusive nature of Katie Batts and her manifestation of poison. And to the Bell family, my condolences.
Yes.
Betsy, you're missed.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you being here with us today, talking about all this boring nonsense. But it actually was really fun. And I have to say, before we go, that so many times we talk about stuff that I don't believe is real, and it's kind of garbage, and it's nice to just talk about this. They don't have a bunch of stuff on the websites saying all this stuff is still happening, like look at these spirit orbs and things like that. They're just like, no, some stuff happened back in the day. It was pretty nasty, and here's a tour of the cabin. You want to go canoeing? Come canoeing.
Do you want to go canoeing?
I do give them credit for that. They're not trying to stretch it out.
They're just telling it as it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have a fest.
I like that.
Bell Witch Fest. Hopefully they serve some mean chili. If not, like, try a different fest. But maybe check it out around Halloween. And as always, creep it real. Thanks for joining us.
Creep it real, everyone.
Creep it real.
Bye.
Bye.